Hey there, hero. It's David H. Lawrence, the 17th, and I've been getting this question. For some reason, I've been getting this one particular question over and over and over again, and I understand why, but I wanted to sort of lay it to rest, because when you find out the answer to it, it's like, oh, I get it. Okay, maybe that's why he likes that microphone so much. So the AT-2020 USB Plus with my mic sock installed. The question comes from, this time, I've gotten it from a lot of different people, and I got it a lot, like 5 or 6 times at WovoCon, which I did a couple weeks ago. Dory Wright says, "Hi, David. I apologize for not asking this question last week when you were doing the AMA series, but I watched your video today about asking for help, so here I am." Great. Great. That's great. I love that. Having taken your recommendations to get a MacBook and an AT-2020 microphone, I'm assuming the AT-2020 USB Plus, I'm wondering about the audio interface. I'm still learning about these things. Can you give me a recommendation for a newbie like me on the audio interface? Thanks so much. Now, if you're actually talking about the model that is named AT-2020 with no USB, no USB Plus after it, then I would recommend something along the lines of the Focusrite Scarlett, or even that's the one I'd recommend. That's the one I'd recommend. For the longest time, you had to, because that's a studio mic, and you have to take that studio mic. It looks just like this, but without the extra controls. You have to plug that into a bridge, a box, that then you plug the box into your computer with USB. So studio mic will use an XLR cable, which is that big, thick, sort of missile-shaped three-prong cord that plugs into the interface that Dory is asking about. And then that interface has a plug that comes out of it, a separate one that plugs into your computer, and it's USB. And then it has all the controls on it. It has a headphone jack with a volume control. It has an input volume, a level control to control the amount of signal that's coming in from your microphone. But that's only if you got an actual AT-2020. And you'll know you got that because the box doesn't say AT-2020 USB Plus, it just says AT-2020, and there are no controls for headphone or mic comm on the microphone like there are on the AT-2020 USB Plus. See those two controls right there? Also, the back of it, the USB cable that's on the AT-2020 USB Plus is an XLR cable on the AT-2020. But the question that most people ask is, what interface do I recommend for this microphone, the AT-2020 USB Plus? And I think part of it is people don't quite get why I love the AT-2020 USB Plus for its compactness. So I don't have an interface. The last one I had was the Pro Tools M-Box Mini 2, which I sold about 3 years ago because you don't need an interface anymore. So let's just pretend that this old iPhone box represents a bridge, an interface. And what you would do with a normal studio mic, any studio mic, not only the AT-2020, but any other studio mic, is you plug it into this box, and then this box gets plugged into your computer with a USB cable. So that's how it works. So the audio coming out of a normal studio mic would go into this box, get converted to data, and then sent on into your computer. Now, most interfaces that are used with studio mics are fairly expensive. They're a couple $100 or more. Some of them are very expensive, and they use really great electronics inside them to convert that studio signal audio into data that goes into your computer. But take all of the electronics in this box and crunch it down, and take it and make it like this big, and then shove it into the bottom, this half of this mic, and that's where the interface is. You don't need any interface with the AT-2020 USB Plus. All the important guts of it are compressed and made small and with the same quality as any bridge you would use. So the answer to the question is, you don't need a bridge with the AT-2020 USB Plus. The bridge is inside the microphone itself. That conversion occurs inside the microphone. As you speak into the microphone, the audio gets converted in the bottom half of the microphone into the data that comes out the USB cable that's in the back of it, and goes right into your computer. So you plug the mic directly in, there's no interface in between. And that's like whack to some people. Like, what? It can't be that good quality, but it is. They use the exact same chipset that's used in the Scarlett and in the M-Box and in all of the other high-end interface boxes is used in the AT-2020 USB Plus. Now, often people will say, don't ever use USB mics because they suck. And the reason they suck is because all of that electronics, all of those conversion electronics to go from voice to data and all the really lower priced ones, the ones that do suck, is really cheap. And they're hissy. And you don't hear the hiss until you compare it with a nice clean mic like the AT-2020 USB Plus. Just to muddy the waters a little bit, there's one other mic that you can use, but it doesn't have the headphone jack and the controls for the volume that the AT-2020 does. And that's the Apogee mic. And I think the Rode NT1 also uses those same chipsets because they have that same really great quality. So the answer to your question is you don't need one. If you're asking about the AT-2020 USB Plus, if you're asking about the AT-2020, the studio version of this mic, then I would say go ahead and use the Scarlett. You'll be really happy with the Focusrite Scarlett. I hope that makes sense. That's one of the reasons I love this microphone is because it's so compact and it's so awesome. The pickup is nice and large. I love it. What can I say? I use it all the time. And I'm not anymore. I used to be apologetic about it. I used to be like, well, I use the AT-2020 USB Plus. And then I thought to myself, why are you shrinking back from that? You should be really happy and proud that A, you saved a bunch of money, B, you kept your quality nice and high, and C, it's so convenient and easy to teach others how to use. So, Dari, the answer to your question is you don't need one. Or if you're actually talking about the AT-2020 Studio mic, I suggest the Scarlett from Focusrite. That's just my suggestion. You can't go wrong with that one. It's great. And you wouldn't be able to hear the difference in quality if you went to a much more expensive one. I hope that helps. Is this a question that you've had? Let me know in your comments below what you think about what I explained. Is there something still left that you don't understand? Are you completely gobsmacked that that's the deal, that whole big, whatever interface you'd use is all compact and then put into the bottom of this microphone? Does that make sense to you? Did you know this before? Let me know any and all of these things in the comments below because I'd love to make sure that I'm helping you out. If you want to get on my list and know when these videos come out, I'd love to have you. Go all the way down to the bottom of the page if you're on voheroes.com and fill out the form. You will be on the list. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. I thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you tomorrow.